Hey everybody, good morning. It's Sebastian Lelibre from Foxtrot Breedables. It is June 16th and it is a wonderful Sunday morning. Happy Father's Day to you. Today is the last day to get those Father's Day LE drops. And remember, tomorrow starts the LE firework drop. I made a mistake a while ago saying that it started the day after. It wasn't supposed to start the day. I was supposed to start the 20th. But because I misspoke, I'm going to give you guys like extra days on the LE firework drop. So it's going to go through from tomorrow to the 4th of July. So get your pets ready. That will be the rook, the bunny, the alpaca, and the donkey. Yay! What are we looking at today? We are looking at some Highland horse features. I'm going to turn around and show you a couple of my starters. Let me get turned around here. So these are some of our Highland horses starters. I've got Colt and I've got Bear. Bear is a stallion. He's a thoroughbred, standing, a mahogany coat with a mahogany short mane and a blue eye and a pink quilted blanket. Colt, 45, is also a stallion. Ooh, I need a mare. Is also a stallion. He's got that pink quilted blanket. He is a thoroughbred standing with a gray coat and a champagne long mane. So you see the mahogany short on Bear and the champagne long on Colt. I believe I have a female hanging out over here. I have a mare. Let's pull her into the conversation. I'm going to move one of our boys out. Okay. Oops, wrong axis. Trying to move her backward. All right. So this is Alanis Morissette. Don't you love our names? These are the Highland horse names. We took the naming conventions from the Highland horse and just moved them over onto Equine, save us some work. This is Alanis Morissette. She has a blue quilted blanket. And she has a snow coat. She's a thoroughbred in a standing position. She's a snow coat with a snow long mane and blue eyes. And Colt 45 has brown eyes. So you see here, we didn't mention their saddle. We didn't mention their bridle, their saddle. That's their tack. Their tack also includes their blanket. The blanket is a trait, but the saddle and the bridle are not. Because in their menu, you're going to see here, we have an options menu. And in our options menu, we have a tack button. The best part about our tack is you can hide it. Take it off entirely. You don't want to see it on the horse. You want to see that pretty coat. Absolutely. We understand you don't want coats to be hidden. You want to be able to see the full thing. And if they're out in your pasture as a display horse, they don't need a saddle on if no one's riding. So you can hide the tack. The best part is when you bring that tack back, you can choose which color you want your saddle and bridle to be to go with your blankets of various colors. Because I didn't want, every saddle and bridle to be black. We could do that, but at least this gives you some options. So you could have gold, you could have green. It's got to load. But the green, look how pretty that green looks on her. She looks very springy. It completely changes the look of a horse. Yellow. I'm going to make this horse's tack gold. So you can see the difference between the gold and the yellow. The gold is much brighter. The yellow is more muted. The yellow is more of a... this one, the gold one looks more like metal. We've got red. I like the red. I gotta say that I did not think I was gonna like the red tack, but I do. And then we've also got like a standard brown. So we've got some great colors to go with your tack on your equine horse. That's really some nice customizations. So you'll be able to sit on your horse, either bareback. If you have the tack hidden, the sitting is still gonna work. It's just invisible. You'll be able to sit on your horse, hide the tack. You can do bareback photos. You can do saddled photos. It'll be great. The same kind of customization is also in our trough. We have a textures button here, and you can choose how you want to texture that trough. Here's a grain trough if you wanted them to have pellets, or if you want them to have hay, we have a hay trough option. And there are really cute textures to go with this. Regular options are, here's the water, just the water trough. Is just a metal trough with water. We also have like a brand new shiny aluminum. You can use gold. We've got copper. We tried to make some metal colors, real metallic colors to kind of match your aesthetic at home. If your farm is like a rundown farm, you just use the rusty white or the rusty red bin. If you've got this prime, mostly farmhouse, modern farmhouse equine establishment, you can use these higher end cleaner textures. I'm clicking the wrong window. So here we go. And then like, I'll show you what rusty white looks like. So here, you know, out in the barn for a few years, been used. So we tried to do this, but you have grain, you have hay, you have water options. Now the grain and hay don't have color options. They're just like, they are what they are. But the best part is we do these on the server side. So one day we could update and say, hey guys, you don't even need to update your trough. We've added some textures for grain. The grain is only in this rusty bucket. Some people might not want their horse to eat grain out of a rusty bucket, but we can work on having options here too. It's just a menu thing. So it would be like, we might make a menu and it would say water, grain, hay, and then you'd have the options for different colors under there. We're not there yet, but that's something we don't have to roll out immediately. We could roll that out later. I wanted you to be able to see this and know that you could, just like our butters home object, the flower pot, I call it it's a Christmas cactus in a flower pot. You can change the textures on it, and there are, I was going to say, I think that's the only other. Oh, and the rook homestone, it can be changed. It has color options too. I thought we would want to push that forward. I know the alpaca home object is like a yarn basket, and the donkey veggie basket, they aren't customizable. And that just didn't seem fun. And the criticism was the rook have a customizable, the butters do. We love that. Let's bring that back. So this was our option. This is your home object. While your pets don't need food or water, you certainly can pretend like you're giving them food and water. Come on. There it goes. Textures take a minute. But that is one of the newer features of that trough. Now, what does the trough do? The trough is an antenna. The trough is an antenna to Foxtrot breedables. And when you make baby, or when you res a horse out, when you res a horse up, this guy here, this trough dispatches the baby. All the models are in the trough. That way we can update everything. Everything. One time. We don't have to like sit there and update each and every animal out the gate. We update one trough. We release, so if we decided to release a draft horse, we would update the trough. In the same way we update the green garden when there are new flowers, we update that compost bin when there are new flowers. This will work like the green garden compost bin. Alpacas will update the yarn basket when new stuff goes in. So this is definitely a good feature, a good update. It works well. This is supposed to be a rusty black. It's hard to see on my screen. Kind of just looks kind of dull blacky. If you've got the Gothic farmhouse barn of your dreams. Oh, clicking the wrong window. Trying to click the the other one. So yeah, that's what we're kind of working on. That's what we're kind of doing. That's what you can expect from Highland horses. And, Highland horse. I keep calling them Highland horses. I really like that. It's very alliterative, so I keep saying it. I am going to do, I think it's this one. Is it this one? Ooh, I put out too many things. There's my bundle. I just wanted a bundle. And those are my testing passion potion scripts in a box. When we first start testing pets, you'd be surprised about how many boxes we actually go through. All right, so we are going to actually copy this back. And we're going to actually copy out an extra baby because we're going to breed a little bit. We're going to see what happens here. Now, when you have more than one basket out, you'll see it says equines to birth, and this one has a little bit of red here. You can see it's disabled, just like this one. When you get into that situation where you have a bunch of empty nests out, you just have to click it and click enable. It will disable all the others, but enable the one you want to use. Now, I'm going to do something that no one else can do. I'm going to be setting the age of my horses. I'm going to make these horses age 5. They're ready to breed. All right, let's go down to our baby and our parents. We're going to breed these two horses together, and we're going to see which traits come from where. Come on. Let's go, babies. And what do we get? Now you'll see the baby actually textured. We're going to take a look here. The baby took the textures, and it looks sort of like a carbon copy of Dad a little bit. It's got a brown eye. It's got that champagne long mane. It's got the gray thing. It's standing. Now, what we don't see on the baby is the quilt. We don't show that. It's an extra trait, so we're going to check local for that information. It's got a pink quilted blanket. It's an extra. And that pink quilted is off Dad. So this is like a carbon copy of Daddy. It looks just like Daddy. So we're going to try again. I'm going to passion these 2 horses. I use passion again. I'm going to bring over one of our other bundles. I'm going to spin it around. That was a carbon copy of Daddy. But Mommy's data is in that baby's back history. So you'll be able to see a lot. I've turned the baby around. Now I'm going to zoom in closer on the baby. The baby will say empty bundle on it. Like, we didn't want there to be any confusion at a marketplace that this was empty, that there were no babies in it. So we're going to click here. I'm going to say breed on that horse. I'm going to click this horse and say breed. These are the same parents. This is another offspring. Oh, wow. We got a mahogany coat. Neither one of these starters is a mahogany. So we pulled a new mahogany coat. We got that snow long hair from our mom. We got blue eyes from our mom. We're in a standing position. Now we just need to check that stat on that quilt. And it is pink quilted like Dad. So we got a trait that wasn't even in there. I think Mom has blue eye, Dad has brown, yeah. So the trait that we got that wasn't in there was mahogany. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how that works. We're going to go to my parents and we're going to look at this tree. I'm going to pull this tree over. And here's the tree. We're going to, hang on, let me see if I can better center that in the window. Here's the tree. There are 26 pink quilted blankets on the grid. There are 65 mahogany coats, 28 blue eyes, 48 of them are 48 stallions in total. 10 have a snow long mane. So that snow long mane is your good trait, but you can kind of see it when we breed. The baby basket, when you put both parents on it, it immediately asks the server, and this is lightning fast. It's just so fast you can't even blink. We say, am I like my mom or am I like my dad for each and every trait as we go down? So it's going to start with blanket. Is my blanket like my mom or like my dad? And in this case, it said your blanket is like your dad. And he said, okay, I have a pink blanket. And on the coat it says, am I like my mom or am I like my dad? And it said neither. Am I like my grandparents? Well, these don't have grandparents, so it said neither. And it said, then what am I? And the server goes, here are some coats that you can possibly be. Grab one. And the baby went this one and pulled mahogany. Eyes blue. Server, what color are my eyes? Are they like my mom or are they like my dad? And the server went, your eyes are like your mother's. Am I a boy or am I a girl? Am I like my mom or am I like my dad? You're a stallion like your father. My hair, what is my hair? Is it like my mom or is it like my dad? And they said, oh, it's snow long like your mother. Species, am I like my mom? Am I like my dad? It says, oh, you're a thoroughbred. Everything right now is thoroughbred. We don't have any other species in there right now, but when we do, say a draft horse, because I have promised that later, if it has a draft horse for a dad and a thoroughbred for a mom, it could pull the draft horse and then the thoroughbred, like all the coats will share across all the species. They're just different bulky bodies. They all have the same UV, as it were, and so you'll be able to pass stuff to the draft body that your horses have. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I think you'll like it. And what is the stand? The stand is standing. There are four poses currently for this horse that work the way it is. So as you proceed in generation, you will find other poses of horse. And we did that for the photography aspect of this. When you're sitting on the horse and you're taking pictures, poses will be something that, like size in our breedables currently, isn't going to be a trait that is neither rare nor sought after or crazy. Just to put that in perspective. It's like boy and girl is also a trait, but they're like, we all know there's boys and girls. We don't look at that as a sellable trait. But I wanted you guys to be aware that that's a possibility. And I wanted to show you guys these things. You can look up any of your pets on the grid using the Foxtrot Breedables parent lookup. If you have Foxtrot Breedables, we have a server system. You can look at your own pets come by the main sim, get a Foxy comp or a Foxy HUD, and view your pets from the Foxy comp or the Foxy HUD. You can lay a Foxy comp out at your sim location, and anyone who clicks it can look at their own pets. It's not going to show them the owners of the Foxy comp's pets. Anyone who clicks, it's going to process their UUID and show them their own pets. So, you know, this is just a great way to do this. Trait list. All right, the other thing we're going to look at is I am blocked from the trait list. So if you go to Equine's NSL and we load that, there are 0 of these pets on the grid because my pets are hidden from this list. My traits will be hidden from this list. We have the traits turned on so I can show you guys parent pages right now. Any of my test horses will be afterlifed, and when we start, everyone will start fresh. The counts you see on this page will be live horses owned by residents that are not me. Will my staff's pets show up? Yes, my staff are allowed to have their own pets. They buy in like everybody else. They're paid, so they have to buy their pets. But they get all of that. Their stuff will be in there. They breed to sell too, just like you guys, and that's fair. Now, I want to show you I'm going to show you the Highland horse right now. We're going to go to Highland horse because this is the best example of what we're going to do with the equines and kind of how you read this page. It takes a minute to load, and I know that these pages are slow. The reason these pages are slow is because they crawl the server every time you do it, and there's a bunch of people doing it. But we want you to have the most up-to-date counts. Traits found for Highland horse. This is our previous horse. And you'll see that there are 18,827 of these pets on the grid for a maximum generation at 66. So they are 66 generations in. We are looking at the coat Aquarius. You'll see Aquarius, there's 26 on the grid, 0.14%. If you've got an Archangel coat, you're really cooking. There's only 15 of those. That's a good one. Or the Autumn Garden only has 2. I don't know if you can see that. I'll scroll down. The Autumn Garden only has 2 on the grid. Baby Bridal only, Brandy Bridal only has 2 on the grid. Blah, 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 blah. Chestnut Bridal, 2 on the grid. So we've got someone breeding up in those high echelons and finding some of these more rare coats. There's 8. These are LEs. All limited editions start with LEs, so you can always come down here. Light Gray Bridal. All the bridals are popping right now. Mother's Day 2021 only had 7 when it came out. It was an LE, but that was the first time we did LE, so we didn't put LE on it, so that was us learning. There are 9 paranormals on the grid, 1 summer garden, and 2 winter gardens. So, but there's 406 zebras, so you can kind of see what's going on here. But the other thing we do here is all species. Highland horses are split by species, Alicorn horse, Pegasus, or Unicorn. The Equine will not be split this way. The species will be thoroughbred, draft, Arabian, whatever the horse body model is. And then you will look at those. So if we're going to use horse, the horse is a thoroughbred. So let's use the Highland horse as the example of the thoroughbred. This page is going to reload. There were 26 total. Now, traits found for Highland horse, there are 18,827 of these horses on the grid. That's Highland horses in total. 63, but you'll notice there were 24 Aquariuses on the grid. Only 11 are a horse. So this is where we get down into more trait minutia that you'll need. Autumn Garden, only one of those is a horse. I think Winter Garden had like 2. Winter Garden, one of those is a horse. The other one may be a Pegasus, or an alicorn, or a unicorn. But you'll see, once we get down into more very trait-specific ones, there's only 4 paranormals. I think there were 9 total. 1 painted pastel blue is a horse. The other painted pastel blues are probably alicorns or unicorns or things. So when we go to alicorn is the highest trait count on a Highland, because it contains the horn and the wing. The wing. And you'll see there's only 3 Aquarius alicorns out there. So the species in conjunction with the with the traits, species in conjunction with coat. In this case, this is the coats. And if you scroll down, you will see horns. White bridle horn, 1. And then wings. Is this wings? This is the mane. Only 4 alicorns have a zebra mane. So while zebra is a pretty common trait, alicorns don't commonly have it. So this is a different way to look at breeding. It's a different way to look at counts. Now, I hear you saying, these just keep going up and up and up. Well, not always. These trait numbers, these numbers right here, go up and down. If you have a carnival teal horse, I believe this is coats, yeah, coats. If you have a carnival teal horse and you send it to its afterlife, that will go down to 11. That's why we do up-to-date counts immediately. We could do up-to-date counts every hour, but we felt that that was disingenuous and not reflecting the right numbers, and I don't want to be disingenuous with the counts. You may have to wait a second or two for the page to load, up to 30 seconds, but I thought that was well worth the exchange to have accurate, up-to-date information. 2 times a year, and equines will be part of this. 2 times a year we do what is called Double Afterlife Points Weekend. And someone was concerned about having too many starters on the grid, too many coats they can't sell. Well, twice a year I double afterlife points and let you clear your herds, bunnies, horses, everything, garden, for double the points. We kind of say, hey, I know you can't sell everything, but let's try to get you some stuff back so that you can keep going with the lines that you want to proceed with. We do that in the spring as a spring cleaning. We do that in the fall, in November, to get ready for our winter holiday, because winter has like 4 or 5 holidays like right next to each other. We have Halloween, we have Ellie Thankfuls that come out in November, we have the Ellie Winter Holiday, then we have the New Year holiday right back to back with the winter holiday. So it's great, it's grand, but this is where we're at. That helps clear stuff. I am busy. I will be out in a minute. I'm working. The joys of working from home. So I will make sure that we get up-to-date stuff and we're really cooking. And when you guys are ready, when we're ready, you guys will be ready. If you guys have questions, pop them down below. Send me a note card in World. Ask away. We're going to make sure we get all your questions answered. Hopefully we'll do a Discord live Q&A or an in-world live Q&A in conjunction with a Discord Q&A. I think that would do great. We're going to do it in-world, and we'll also have people on Discord who can't be in attendance. So if you guys have questions, let me know down below, and thank you for joining us. And remember, as always, be kind to each other.